Hi pals, how we doing? Welcome back to my booktube channel. It's been a long while since I last posted. I want to kind of get back into the habit of posting again, and I thought I would ease myself in with a book bullet journal video. So here's my 2023 book bullet journal. I wanted to keep it quite kind of just focused on being useful and practical, and also trying to make it quite pretty and creative, but not like over the top creative where it ends up not being very useful for me. And I wanted to give myself space to grow as well in the bullet journal, so you'll see some of that as we go through some of my thinking there. But I started off the book bullet journal in the midst of like in my previous year's book bullet journal, basically, because I hadn't used the whole journal. And I started with, on the left hand side, some reflections on the previous year. I talk about it not being like my best reading year. I didn't read loads last year, and what I did read, I read some really great books, but I read a lot of just kind of 3 stars and even 2-star books, and some that I wasn't really enjoying that much, and there was some that I was kind of slogging through, which I then didn't finish, and things like that. So it just wasn't my best reading year, but this year is a new year and I'm looking forward to it. But in the reflections, I do talk about some of my favourites. I also talk about some of my goals, and then I dedicate the right hand side of the page to talking more about the goals, or at least like highlighting them in these 4 boxes. And so I start by saying that 30% of the books I read, I want them to be translated. In 2022, that statistic was 54%, but I recognise that I was participating in the BookTube Translated Fiction Prize, which kind of boosted that status quite a bit and kind of pushed me to read books that I maybe wouldn't otherwise read. So that was kind of good, but it did boost that number quite dramatically. So I imagine that will fall down a bit to more like a natural 30% or something. So I've kind of capped it there and see how we get on this year. A big one for me is just to get back into the habit of reading. I fell off the bandwagon with that last year at some point. Just life got on top of me. I had a lot of things going on. I moved house like I think 3 times, which was a lot, and meant that my books were in like boxes, or when they weren't in boxes I was like stressed about things going on and yada yada yada. But it just meant I was not reading as much, and I would really like to just get into it more as like an everyday activity. I also want to read more of the books that I own. I have quite a lot of books that I own that I haven't read yet, and I'm very excited about that. And lastly, I want to read 12 books that are in Icelandic. I think last year I read maybe only like 3 or 4, so I'm really excited to read some more books in Icelandic. And then I have just like this overall, I see this every year that I create this this reading stats page. On the left hand side I have this colour block chart where I colour in each square for a book that I read. And then on the right hand side I have just like my overview of the stats, and I fill that in as I go along, just tally marks, and just giving me a wee sort of overview throughout the year of what I've been reading. If there's something I want to prioritise, any goals, it gives me a chance to kind of check in on those as I go through the year. I then created these bookshelves, which I do every year as well, and I basically just draw in a little book for each book that I read, and they're always really lovely. Last year I think I used less than the 2 thingies, so I thought giving myself 2 would be enough this year. And this is also my overview. I write in the number of the book I read, 1, 2, 3, as I go through the year, the title, the rating, the author as well, the format, and where I sourced the book from, so either my own book or the library or etc. I also have this quite fun spread where on the left hand side I have my favourite reads of 2023, and on the right hand side I have my biggest disappointments, and I have this sort of different kind of tones to both sides, which I was quite sort of having fun creating. And then I think with each of the boxes I'm going to like either draw in the cover itself or maybe just write in. I haven't quite decided yet, but I wasn't sure how I felt about this because I really like the left hand side, but I'm not somebody who really likes to focus on the books that I've not read and not enjoyed as much, so I'm not sure if this is giving that a bit too much space in my diary, but hey ho, let's just see how it goes. I'm very excited to use the left hand side for sure, and we'll just see. On the next spread on the left hand side I have my library savings jar, which I've done I think every year for the last couple of years as well, but I really like just seeing the overview of it. I've not been using the library as much as maybe I was in 2020 or 2021, but it is still something that I noticed is worthwhile me having, because even the amount that I do use it for, I definitely make my money back on it. So on having the membership, that is. And then on the right hand side I had this little notepad, and I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember what it was for, but it was kind of cute, and I think I can probably use it for some notes or things like that. I will say I designed and drew up this bullet journal at the end of 2022, so it's been a couple of months since I last had a peek inside. I'm very excited to get using it, and thanks to Past Me for actually creating it. It's very useful. So yeah, I'm very excited for the year ahead and seeing what my reading year turns out to be like. I'm really hoping it's better in 2022, and I hope for you guys as well that you have a really good reading year. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you'd like to see a little peek into my 2022 journal, and until then, I will speak to you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!